Hi all, thank you so much for watching. My name is Kristen and I'm so grateful that you're here to watch my video. And pardon my cat, today is my first video, and so I thought I would share with you my works in progress, or whips as we like to call them. And I was going to share with you a little bit about how I store my whips and how I work on these, and just in general my process. So my first work in progress is the Tea Party quilt. This is so fun. This is a quilt by Beverly McCullough of Flamingo Toes. And you can see here there are 4 teapots and then these little teacups. So what I did, the reason the pattern does not come like that, I went through, that's how we sew the pattern. So these are teacup A, this is teacup C, and so I'm following along with this as closely to how she did it as I can. So that's my reason for that process. And I've already completed the teapots. I did make a mistake. The teapots here in the pattern, there's supposed to be 2 going to the right and 2 going to the left. Unfortunately, I just got busy sewing and I did they all go the same way. So I don't think it'll ruin the quilt, and I'm not going to rip it out. I'm just going to leave it because remember, there aren't any quilt police. So that's my first one. I have completed the teapots. I do have that teacup A cut out. There's 5 of them. And so later on in a sew along, I'll be showing, I'll sew those together so you all can see it. But yeah, so that's my first one. And let me take you and show you my teapots. So these are my teapots on my design board. And there's 4 of them in the quilt. So I've already done all 4. And I think they're pretty cute. They're not exactly the same colors that that Beverly chose, but it's the same. It's her fabric that I'm working with. And her fabric that I'm using for the Tea Party quilt is called Afternoon Tea, and it's also by Beverly McCullough. My next work in progress is the Designer Mystery Quilt. This is a kit that I purchased from Fat Quarter Shop, and it's a block of the month. The fabric line is My Summer House by Ann Sutton of Bunny Hill Designs by Moda Fabric. And so there's a finishing kit, a backing set, and the monthly block. So now here in August, we are on the third block. And so every block comes in a small package like this, and it comes with your fabric. And the finishing quilt was, I believe it was about $150 for the finishing quilt. It came in a box like this, and it has a magnetic closure. And it has everything that you need to finish the top. And then on the back, as a bonus, it has this cherry bars recipe. I haven't made the recipe, but it's there if you would like it. And you can store your progress in this box. So what I did was, when this finishing kit first came, it came with patterns and layouts. It looks like this. And so I made all the roofs that are here and the flowers. And so now as I go along, then I'm just add that to the block. So for example, I made my roofs here, and they alternate. I have the red ones and the like blue-green ones. And I hang this up in my sewing room. And then I work on each block. and then I sew it together. And I can show you what my first 2 blocks look like sewn together. So these are my first 2 blocks. You can see the flower there that I've sewn that together. And then after I finished the second block, then I sewed them together in their row. And this kind of lives on my design board here. I have these small plastic boxes, and I get these, I think I got 6 of them on Amazon for $50. So they're about 7 or 8 box. They're super sturdy. You can even fill it. You'll see in some of my other boxes, you can fill it pretty full. And in this case, they give you so much extra fabric in this block of the month. People have made whole other second quilts. I'm not sure about what I'm going to do with this extra fabric, so I've just been storing it in here until I decide what I want to do. The roofs, and I store them on a skirt hanger, and I just hang this up. I'll iron it before I attach it to the block. My next quilt top, that's a work in progress, is called Purry Stars. And as we heard earlier in the video, if you could hear her, my cat's in here, so I love cats. My daughter Emily, she really loves cats. So this was Corey Yoder's $5 pattern that she had in June. So this pattern was $5 in June. It was in her Etsy shop. It's no longer on sale for $5. I think it's $9 or $10. I have a video tutorial that she did on the quilt, putting it all together. She did say that you can use fat quarters for it, but it is cut for yardage. But you can do the math. It's not super complicated to do it as a fat quarter quilt. I have not cut this one out yet. I just have it in its box here. And I hope to get it cut out this week. My daughter Emily, she's 25, but she's on a break from school, and she likes it so much, she said she would cut it out for me. So I am going to be using another Beverly McCullough fat quarter bundle. This one is Enchanted Meadow, and I think it's so cute. And then I got another fabric from her line, and this is what's going to be the sashing between the quilt squares, and it will probably be the binding as well. This is another fabric in her fat quarter bundle. It's in the line, but I really liked it. I thought it was a fun fabric. For the background, I went a little different than what Corey did. I think Corey used one of her coriander seeds fabrics. What I have is I purchased this on Etsy. It's called Hush Hush Heart Kitties by Riley Blake. It's a low volume, and I purchased this on Etsy from Something to Sew, and I just thought it was so cute. So this will be my background for my kitty quilt, and I will keep it in one of my boxes once I get that all cut out. So my next work in progress is a quilt I kind of designed myself. So I had a friend who several years ago gave me some fabric that she wanted to turn into a quilt. And this had been fabric that had hung in her room, and she wanted it to be a king-size quilt. The fabric was kind of busy, and I was really at a loss on what to do. And so I folded it up, and I stored it neatly and put it in my fabric cupboard. And then just recently, in the last week or so, she messaged me and said, "Were you still going to do that?" And I was like, "Oh, of course." So I put together this with EQ8 or Electric Quilter 8. It's a quilt design software. I'm not an expert at it, and this is a really basic quilt. But you can scan your fabrics in and then get an idea of what your quilt would look like. So this is just going to be Flying Geese. I keep everything in this box. And then we'll step over to the cutting table, and I'll show you what it will look like. So this is the quilt that I designed, and it's just flying geese in strips. And that pink, I have this mostly cut out, but not all the way. But the pink is going to be this grunge pink. The gray that you see, I'm going to use this gray stars. And then you can see in my box, I have most everything cut out. These are the busy prints that she likes, and they're going to be the flying geese. And then the gray is going to be the background. So I was short a few of these blocks. So we had to go to the quilt store yesterday and get those. And so I will cut out the rest of those, and then I'll be ready to get started on this. And this will be a king-size quilt. And then my final quilt project I have in progress, as you can see right here, this is Social Sharks. It's one of those lovable quilts by Elizabeth Hartman. I did not piece this together. This had started out as a project that my 10-year-old Clara wanted to do. She got bored with it, as 10-year-olds do. And so my other daughter, Emily, she normally sews clothes. She's 25. And she asked to complete it. So she put it together. She basted it for me, and then hopefully I'll get it quilted this month, and then it'll be all done. But I just think it's so cute. It's all basted here and waiting for me. My last project is not a quilt at all, but a bag. This is the Joseph Messenger bag by Shambhala Patterns. And so this will be my first time doing a Shambhala pattern. I'll just go through it and take my time with it. And I will show you real quick the fabrics that I have cut out for it. This fun print, that's going to be the lining. And then this is going to be the outside and the contrast fabric. So it's going to be done in a blue, a darker and a lighter blue. And so for this one, I don't put it in a box. I will just set it next to my industrial machine. And so when I have a moment to work on it, then I'll be able to work on it. If you stayed with me this far, thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate you. I know that we're all really busy, and the idea that you took the time to watch my video, thank you so much. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.